One thing that I do not have are the coordinates because I just composited my raw intervals. So now what we can do is to go ahead and composite our data. So we already saw how to actually desurvey our data. We already saw how to do it. We do rmsp.desurvey, and we can already go and pass our composites here, and the other data are the color and the survey. So color survey, and this will give me my final composites. So I can just inspect the head or the start of that data. So here are my composites. I have all the original functions from the previous step. And additionally to that, now we have coordinates. So what we can do with that is we can visualize. So let's go up here and copy the code from my visualizer and paste it in here. And instead of seeing my desurvey data, I now want to see my composited data, and I will rename this, and that's all that I want. So if I visualize now, I can see that I have now regular spaced composites on my data set, which is the expected. I can check my geocode, which also is as expected. We kept the length of the geology assays, and that's because we used split intervals. The other thing that I would like to show is that, for instance, composites, if I check the type, composites are now interval data. And sometimes we want the composite to be something else, not intervals, but we want to interpret it as points in the space. And in this case, it's just the centroid of the composites. We can convert the composites to point data by calling the PointData function. If I check the type of this output is another type of RMSP, which is PointData. And this is basically what the name says, points in the space. So the metadata for this is just true hole ID, X, Y, and Z. And true hole ID is not even required. Only X, Y, and Z are the required. And this visualizes differently in the viewer. So if I do that in here, you will see that I first no longer have access to the tube radius. In this case, I would have to actually specify point size. So let's use point size equals 2 in here and visualize again. So now we can see that we are looking to our composites as point data. That point size is actually pretty small. So let me check larger point sizes. So we can look at our composites as points in the space.